Hello, welcome to my video log in November. While I'm doing this, California's burning down. Oh, I should mention, it's Rogaine. It's a gradual change. I mean, you won't notice that anything's changed. I'm just the same as I was before, but there's a little spark that wasn't there when you saw me last time. We were talking about California. It's burning down. You know, I lived in California when I was younger. I actually went to school in California. You could never tell that I was a graduate from a school in Southern California, could you? Or was it Northern California? I can't remember. Was it a BA or a BS? Oh, you know, when you're going to school, it's so hard to keep track of those things.
Sorry.
But anyway, I visited my sister last week. She's my older sister, and she's 39. How touching is that? Of course, she did kill a cow at one point. That's a long story. A sad story within the family. Never set a bucket of rusty nails in front of a cow. I will get back to that story another day. But while I was down there, they gave me, I don't know why, this. It's a big, impressive study on Alzheimer's. And I glanced through the first couple pages, and I said to myself, I will take the Alzheimer's test, just to see if I could have it. That's the test. I had to draw a clock, and then I had to put the hands on it, and then I had to draw the point in the clock where the time they had presented to me would line those hands up. It was all so very complex. But I, a graduate from several schools, including the Tijuana Trade Tech, it was mail order, took the test without a single problem, except I listed 10 o'clock twice, and then I messed up as far as placing the hands at the time. So, in effect, I mean, what do these people that write tests on Alzheimer's know? In effect, I failed the test. Blast it! I'm fine. I'm normal. I'm no different than I was before, even though I am taking the Rogaine. You say this is all silly, talking about forest fires in Southern California. I was thinking there are two things that this bin Laden told us. One, he said he would destroy us economically. And then a little later we found some papers that were written by those terrorist guys. And they said that what might be a good idea would be to set a bunch of forest fires, especially while our troops are off fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan. It could be a problem. Is it me, but do I perceive there is a possibility that there could be some skullduggery here going on in Southern California?
Oh, no!
Is it possible they don't want to tell old people like me about that because they think that it may be too much for me to handle? Although Lord knows those little blue pills did not work. But this, Rogaine, it might help. I don't know. I'm also confused because suddenly I've lost communication with YouTube. I mean, they used to send me letters when people subscribed, went into my mailbox. They used to tell me how well the channel was doing. Would say, Jerry, your channel's doing great. Well, I don't hear anything from them. YouTube seems to have detached from me. I find this so very distressful. You know, I am a bit of a religious fanatic. You know that. I get so distressed. I was watching one of my favorite young video makers, a kid that I perceived to be pretty bright for a young guy. And lo and behold, he went into an attack on religion. And I watched that, and I thought about, you remember Nietzsche many years ago? Nietzsche came up with a slogan. It said, God is dead. And it was on the bumper of many cars, particularly in San Francisco. And then somebody came up with another bumper sticker. It said, "Nietzsche is dead. God." It's strange. I don't know if you've ever thought about this. In the Bible, there is only a couple places where God laughs. And one of those places is when it was said God is dead. And it says God laughed. I think we should give serious thought to this in these troubling times. I watched a documentary on television just last night about Jonestown, when somebody was operating as the man who had the perceived word of God, but he was a murderer, a very bad person. I think we should look very carefully at what's happening around here today, at forest fires, about people who say they alone have the answer to who this God is and what you should do, and give serious thought to the issue, is God alive or is he dead? God laughed. We must be very funny to him. I think it's time to get the act together before someday up there he rattles the keys and he says, "I think it's time to close the place down. If you will excuse me." Oh, it's Brocade.